Good morning, everyone, and thank you for your prayers for me to get work. The interviews are starting to come in now. I've had a few interviews with recruiters. I've had one government interview, and I've had people reach out for work at the banks. So I am getting interviews, and I'm hoping one of those will fall into place. I am on a temporary layoff. And, as a citizen of this country, I do have an obligation to work. And also, I'm getting bored sitting at home. If you don't have an income coming in, there's very little you can do. I went to a movie after a long time. I think I last went in 2021 to see a movie. And I won that ticket to the first Elvis movie because Baz Luhrmann had put out a competition on X for the first Elvis movie. So I went yesterday to watch it. I might go again because the first bit of the movie I was busy looking for my glove because I don't have too many clothes and things, and I cherish the little that I have. So I might go back and watch the movie again. It's worth it, especially in the IMAX. The IMAX sound is really amazing. Like, I would say if you love music, you have to go watch this movie. And I know I haven't dyed my hair, but I am going to dye it. So yeah, I just hope I get something by the end of this week. I hope I get an offer, an opportunity. I'm applying mainly for executive assistant roles and also roles in HR. I have a lot of experience working in HR. I started out in HR at TD as an executive assistant, and then I have all the experience from working in the business, doing health and safety with recruiting, onboarding, helping to make sure that the business recovery programs are in place, having designated places for emergency preparedness. So I've got a lot of experience in HR as well as executive assistant work, and also coordinating small projects for IT. So let's see. And the economy is picking up. I mean, if the banks are doing well, like Scotiabank, then it means that things are getting better, which will be good for all of us. And that's what you have to watch. If you're watching for economic recovery, you have to watch the banks. Because once the banks start doing better, then everything else starts getting better. If the banks are not starting to do well, then it means that you'll be in for a hard time. So I hope that I'll be getting a good offer, and I hope it will be something with benefits, healthcare, medical, a good team, where I can use my skills and continue to help to make things better. Yesterday, I went to sleep at 2 a.m. when I finished watching that movie, Long Walk to Freedom. But yeah, I mean, I think, like for me, do I regret all the activism work I've done and everything I've done? No. But would I go back into it? No. Because I think I'm at that point Mandela was at, where it's like, you know what, if this is the ingratitude of people, if people are going to carry on being violent and stealing and killing and destroying lives and going into corruption, it's not worth it. And if you watch that movie, like right at the beginning, when his mother is counseling him, she told him, and I think this is even in the book, I got the book, The Long Walk to Freedom, where she tells him that who's going to look after your family? Your responsibility is to your family first. And he says, well, I have to do it for our country because it's not just about my children. It's not just about our children. It's about the future of everybody's children. And that movie, if you watch that movie, that scene sticks with you. And then even what they did to his wife, what they did to Winnie, and the breakdown of his marriage, all those things. He didn't expect Winnie to stay on her own for all those years, especially after the police they brutalized her. So, I mean, people are not grateful to us. That's what I say. We put our lives on the line for you. And you should be grateful. You have all this John Maxwell and all that, like it's all pie in the sky to you because you haven't laid down your life. You talk about having a more human approach, including TD Bank, but you've never laid down your life. You've never laid down your life like I have. You've never had to sacrifice like I have. You've never stood up to the police like I have, or security guards. You've never had to do it. So to you, it's pie in the sky. You've never been threatened with arrest. You've never known that shock that, you know what, I'm doing something good and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and I'm being threatened with arrest. You've never known it. People should treat me and others who have pulled through civil war in childhood and lost everything and come here and started over with more respect and more consideration. And yeah, I wouldn't go back into that activism work now. I mean, whatever we do it unto the Lord. And make no mistake, activism started with Christianity. It's a Christian movement. It didn't start with any other religion. The fight for women's rights, the fight to vote, the fight to have our freedoms, the fight for freedom of speech, it started with the Christians. And it started with Christ saying, why are you coming after my disciples, asking them why they're eating when they're hungry and I'm with them? That's what, and he challenges them. He says, didn't the disciples of old go and eat in the temple because they were hungry? And that's what it comes down to. It comes back to the heart, what's at the heart of the message of the Gospels of the faith. That's what it comes down to. So yeah, I don't blame Nelson Mandela for regretting all those years in prison, all that hard labor, everything they did, they all regretted it because of the corruption and the way that things went afterwards. For 27 years, he didn't hear the sound of the laughter of children. For 27 years, he didn't see his children face to face. And what you see in that movie is the truth, because that's what they used to do to our letters. And we were not in prison. They used to open the letters and they used to cut out the pieces of the letters that were coming from overseas. Or they used to black them out, or they would open our parcels and steal from us. And it happens here too in Canada. It's happened to me here in Canada. So, yeah, I don't blame him. I don't blame him. They all sat and cried and they said, is this what our country has come to? All of them, including Uncle Kemi. Mr. Kathrada. So think very carefully, because those of us who gave our lives for you, we're not doing it anymore. We're not doing it because our lives are sinking into poverty. Our families are suffering. And what are you doing? What are you doing in the banks, at TD, at RBC, at Scotiabank? What are you doing? You're celebrating your profits when you know that people like me are sitting at home unemployed and we're looking for work and we have elderly mothers to take care of, widows. I mean, you talk about all this John Maxwell and a more human approach and all that. Do you love it? Do you love it? Go and watch that Elvis movie. I take my hats off to Baz Luhrmann. Elvis was an amazing entertainer, and Baz Luhrmann deserves all the accolades and everything that people are saying. He deserves it. And Elvis deserves to be remembered and for his music to reach the billboards again. I might go see it again because I was helping those ladies and then I lost my glove and I was worried about my glove. But when you're poor and you have very little, you worry about that glove and you look for it until you find it. Then I watch the movie. I'm like, okay, stop worrying about the glove. Just watch the movie. And then after the movie, you can find it. I stayed in that theater until they put the lights on. And then one of the ushers was there. He helped me. And then I found it. I picked up my glove and I came home. That's how we live. That's how activists live. We're not rich people. We're not people that came from rich families. We're the opposite. We're the villagers. We're the ones that grew up in the slums. We're the ones that were determined to get an education and to make something of our lives. And we get humiliated, including by Bono. No one's happy with what Bono's doing. You read the comments on his wall, his Facebook wall. Read them. People are very disappointed in Bono. It's not right. His heart was in the right place before. It's not right anymore what's happening. But anyway, it was sad. It was sad to hear Nelson Mandela say those words that I regret what I did. He came out and he tried to build the country up, and he had to make compromises that he didn't want to make. To lift the country up, he had to make those compromises, and Robert Mugabe refused to make some of those compromises. Because in the end, IMF came in and all these people, and they infected our rivers with that weed that took over the dams, China, and they destroyed the country. And after that, people had no alternative but to turn to crime and to turn to corruption. And then they want to blame us. Give me a job. Instead of blaming me, respect me and give me a job, and give me a job that pays well, not minimum wage. Because you know what? I deserve it. And we activists who stood with Bono in those early years and supported him from 1976, we deserve better from him. We deserve better from him and Ali. She's a nice woman. She's got kind eyes. Oh, this what they're doing. It's nonsense. And people shouldn't piggyback off Elvis. They're making money off that movie. That's good. It's good to bring in the billions. And he was something special, man. He was something special. So yeah, that's my message to you. Respect me. I deserve it.